Jimmy buckets! Clutch time!
Tyler Hero, what a finisher he's becoming.
Lane, Oladipo. Oh! That's right, you better mean mug after you dunk on somebody that way.
Gonna run it down, he goes with it. Adebayo for the win!
Yeah. Welcome to the fucking post-game show. I'm your host, Royal A. Shepherd. And with me today is the man, Jonathan Ramakan, both a panelist and producer. Appreciate your services, Jonathan. We got two of my favorite members of the Five Reasons Sports Network, members of the Kane Gang, my boy Kendall and Threat. Fellas, tonight, it was not a night. I say that. Like, you know what I mean? It was hard at first. Like, when we were getting blown out, it was hard to, be mad at the team. We had been playing well. I was cool. We made this run in the fourth quarter, and we had an opportunity to win this game. And our best player essentially took that opportunity away from us. So we want to thank this $10 dono from James Todd. He said, I'm conflicted. We almost won without Lowry, Hero, and Tuck. But on the flip side of this, I'm pissed because Jimmy blew another wide open layup. Unreal. Like, how the fuck does he miss that? Bro, that's a question that we all going to get to tonight. But we're going to start with Jonathan Ramakan. Brother, give me your thoughts on the game. If it all boiled down to that last quarter, then you can just focus on that.
Yeah, I mean, phenomenal run to even get it close, right? I mean, we talk shit about Duncan Robinson, him not hitting shots when we needed most. He hit him tonight, right? He hit him tonight. He got us where we needed to be when we needed to get a lot of points scored in a very little amount of time. He was doing it, and he was hitting it. So shout out to him overall. But, man, that out of bounds play coming in was drawn up as perfect as you can get it. You have Jimmy wide open at the rim, and Trae Young is trailing him.
Everybody did their job that play, Ramakan.
Perfect screen by Gabe Vincent. Perfect lob. Maybe it was just. And then my issue really is, Trae Young misses a free throw. You fuck up the layup, whatever, right? You go down the other end and you take a corner fadeaway three falling out of bounds. Why? That makes no sense to me. I understand the decision, like we talked about a little bit before the show. We, agreed to go for the three. You're on the road. You don't typically want to go in overtime. You go for the win. Have Jimmy drive in and then have Bam set a back screen while, Duncan's cutting to the corner, and then you have the defense collapse in. You have it, we have so many readily available options. We have the best coach coming out of an out of bounds play. I don't know who's better ever if I've ever seen one. But, man, what the hell was that last play? I have no idea. And then Strus, got the offensive board, and with 2 seconds left, he threw it up instead of probably having at least one more good look, and then it was an air ball. But, yeah, man, tough loss. I thought we were going to lose the game anyways. When I threw out that post, we were down like 14, but we made a good run towards the end. Just fuck, man. We couldn't pull it off, and we were right there. And I feel bad for Gad because Gad was right there, and, man, I'm sure he would have been so happy to get this fucking win, but unfortunately it wasn't there.
So I said trade Jimmy in the comments. Want to thank Leo the line for the $4.99 dono. He said, is it feasible to win a championship when your best player isn't a true 3-level threat? Jimmy's jumper is broken. I don't know if Jimmy's jumper is broken, but there are times where he's not the most efficient one-on-one option like late in games. Like, he makes hard shots, he draws contact, so that makes him a good option. But, I mean, it would help at times to have a better, legitimate scorer in those situations. I also want to thank Voodoo Visions for the $4.99 dono. He said, Jimmy really saved that bald-headed dude, no hair, with that last shot. For sure. Kendall, I'm going to throw it to you next, man. Give me your thoughts on the game.
One more real quick.
Oh, thank you, SRT Dre, for the $1.99 dono. He said, Jimmy the ball stopper would do well on the Clips. Yo, listen. We're going to get individually into Jimmy in a second. I want to hear everybody's overarching thing, like what they saw from the whole game. Kendall, your turn, bro. Go ahead.
I saw, like, bullshitting from Bam and Jimmy, like, through the first half. I mean, that game was only close because of Strus and Gabe. To be honest, they combined for 28. If it wasn't for them, like, that fourth quarter would have never happened. So I don't know what it was, but at one point, Jimmy and Bam both had like 2 shots each. And then Bam started to get it going. I really feel like those two are our stars, our main players. They were just bullshit, and then they was dragging their ass. And then Bam started to pick it up. Like, when we came out of halftime, I feel like a conversation had to have happened. Like maybe the loss of PJ Tucker, I don't know what it was, but Bam started to get aggressive, and his shot started to fall. He started to get into the rim, and then, honestly, Atlanta, man, they was dying for us to take that game. They was like cracking. They would crack, and we would come back. They'll flex seal it up. They'll crack again. They'll flex seal it up, and then they finally like really cracked, and it was a game in the end. And then, I mean, you said we're gonna get into like individual on Jimmy. Like that's when I'll discuss that last play because I mean, that shit was it was a letdown. I mean, our best player let us down tonight. And the worst part about it is, well, I'll get to it later. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Get that off.
I was about to say the worst part about what happened with Jimmy tonight is, bro, like what you got kicked out of the last game. You know what I'm saying? And the team won without you. Like for you to perform like that, like after the team one had been winning without you, and then you come back or whatever, you couple games, you get kicked out of a game. We felt like it wasn't necessary to get kicked out. He deserved 1 T, not 2. And then to perform like that, that's a major letdown from like your best player on your team to perform like that.
No, for sure. There are certain players who you don't expect games like this from. Jimmy
Yeah,
Butler.
exactly.
Jimmy Butler is one of those players. So it's like it's kind of like in a game like this, we understand that sometimes he may be passive like he was in the first half. Mm-hmm. But when a game gets close like this and you have an opportunity to win it, we expect Jimmy Butler to come in there and close the door. Like that's just what he's given us to expect. Habitual bunny shot misser. Ladies and gentlemen, clutch your pearls. Kane, give me your thoughts on the game.
Hey man, listen. I'm an equal opportunist, which means that anybody can get it. Like AB said, the poet. African, American, Mexican, you know what I'm saying?
Dominican.
You feel me? Anybody can get it. And tonight, Jimmy Butler is about to get it. I let him slide for a while now. I've been cooking Duncan Robinson repeatedly. He had a great game today. Hit 4 threes in that fourth quarter to bring us back. Strus kind of kept us afloat. Even Bam, even though he wasn't hot early, he got it together. I think he had 8 points going leading up to that end of the fourth quarter. But Jimmy Butler, dog, he's been a hot pile of ass since he's got back. I've been very disappointed in Jimmy Butler since he's gotten back. He had the first game back when he dropped 23, but since then you had the Sixers game when he goes 8 points, 1 for 11. You have the Raptors game when he's shooting 6 for 14. The Blazers game he gets kicked out of when he was already struggling, 1 for 4 in 15 minutes. And then he has the game that he has tonight, 5 for 14, missing bunny shots. And it's not like we haven't seen this missed bunny shot before. This dude has missed this easy ass shot before. And what really pissed me off, I wrote it down. I tweeted it before the game, before the last shot. I want the ball in Bam's hand, not Jimmy. It wasn't Jimmy's night. Jimmy, not the clutchest man in the world, in my opinion. And I just felt like Bam was starting to get going, and I just feel like we need to instill that confidence for Bam to be able to take that last shot, even with Jimmy Butler on the floor. I'm starting to see the same patterns over and over and over again, and this is something that worries me with this team. And I know a lot of y'all gonna be mad, but this is why I'm not running to put this team as the championship team, because we got 2 twos at the 1. You know what I'm saying? We got Jimmy and we got Bam. It's just not enough punch. We got a lot of depth, but we not top heavy. You know, I'm just keeping it a stack. And I know a lot of y'all not gonna like that, and I don't care what y'all like. We not really top heavy enough. So that's
I understand what you're saying, bro. I understand what you're saying, but I feel like tonight we were missing Hero and we were missing Kyle, and then we were out without PJ as well.
That's
so I
fine.
understand what you're saying. There's definitely cracks in this team. Like when you have 2 guys in Bam and Jimmy, and then sometimes Kyle who can't shoot, you know, it's tough for this team to generate offense. And we've seen it, like, especially when the team is starting to come together, they're not firing as many threes as before. They're not firing and scoring like they were before. It's more of a slow-paced game, and it tends to hurt this team because when the other team, like much of the NBA, goes on those quick scoring runs, we kind of get left behind, and we have to fight from behind all the time. So I can understand what you're saying, but I feel like tonight's kind of an anomaly because we didn't have Hero, we didn't have Kyle, and we didn't have PJ the second half either. So we were in a tough position either way.
But I think to his point, kind of like when we put Kyle in those situations, Kyle kind of stepped up to the plate. He had no Jimmy, no Bam. He kind of made it work with what he does. We put Bam in that situation last night or the other night when Jimmy got kicked out. Bam kind of rose to the occasion in the fourth quarter, got us the dub. Jimmy Butler was in that situation tonight, and he had the easiest job of them all, in my opinion. He had been terrible all night, but we put the ball in his hands when he had a wide open layup, and he missed that shit. Like I think that's the point. It's kind of like I don't want to go no crazy shit. Ain't nobody talking about trade Jimmy. Like y'all say that shit in the comments. That's not what we're talking about here. But there's a legitimate worry that in the biggest moments of games, like we're relying on Jimmy Butler to score points sometimes, and we've seen a habit of him missing some of those opportunities. So we want to thank Ari Simons for the $5 no. He said, seems if Jimmy doesn't get going early, he kind of disappears. Didn't take his first free throw till the fourth. Trey himself had more free throws than Miami. That's a good point. Trae Young had a lot of free throws by himself, and he out free throwed Miami. One thing SRT Dre for the 199 don't know. He said chasing the 1 seed and Spo let Lowry go on vacation. Look, if we can't win games without Kyle Lowry while we have Bam and Jimmy on the court, then we have bigger problems than Kyle Lowry not being there. These are our two best players, not Kyle Lowry. I understand how Kyle Lowry makes everything function, but let's talk about that a little bit. Ramakan, do you put? I mean, you kind of alluded to it a little bit, but how much of this do you put on us missing some of our guys versus the players that we had here not performing?
Look, there's no excuse for this team not to win tonight. I'm not trying to make an excuse for this team losing tonight, right? We should have won this game. Like Threat said, Jimmy was lackadaisical at times. He wasn't even putting his head down. Like Kendall said, you got kicked out of the last game. You're supposed to come this game, have a 10-point first quarter, assert your dominance, and show who the fuck you are. That's what you're supposed to do in this game, but he didn't do that. So I understand what you're saying, but at the end of the day, we're missing a lot of our team still, right? And I can't judge this game as an indicator of how we're going to perform in the playoffs because we still just haven't seen the whole unit yet. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So it's tough for me to try to use this game as a temperature gauge. As far as a temperature gauge for just Jimmy's individual performance as a leader and as far as what he's supposed to do for this team, he's supposed to get this team to win. He had the chance to. He had a layup at the rim, right? He missed it. And even at the final play, I think he should have taken a better shot selection there. He had that shot together. So, like I said, I agree with Threat's opinion as far as Jimmy's supposed to get the win for the team tonight. But I can't use this one game as just a temperature for the playoffs because we're just not complete just yet.
Yeah, sure. Look, I agree in part because I understand that we haven't had our full complement of players. But, Kendall, I'm going to ask you this, bro. How long is that going to be a valid rationale for this team? Like, they've been playing without their full complement of players all this time, and we've been singing their praises for being the 1 seed. So if we're like, how long are we going to keep using that as a crutch in terms of like giving people passes on how they're playing?
That All-Star break. Like after that, that's when we need everybody like out there. Because like I said last show I was on, I said we're gonna see this team struggle when everybody's back and the games are close. Like I said that. And tonight was a close game. We lost PJ during it, and we was missing 2 of our other top like 4 players, and Kyle and Tyler.
Yeah.
And we saw like it was.
They looked like last year. They looked like last year.
Yeah, they looked like last year. And a little worse because there was none out there. We was depending on Kyle Guy. We was depending on Kyle Guy like in January of the NBA season. And then I mean the other guys and Strus and Gabe, like once they gave you what they gave you in the first half, like that's a game for them. So after that, they really like tailed off and they was doing too much. Strus was doing way too much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Trying to drop to the rim. But it was just like I kind of understood why he was doing it.
He had to.
He had to,
Jimmy's
not only because of Jimmy, but also because that shit been working for like the past month. Like, so I got why the game played out the way it did, but I just think that Spo, this is where I think Spo, Jimmy, and Bam, they need to come together and like understand. Like Bam has this thing where he just doesn't know when to like just seal his man. It was times he had DeAndre Hunter on him, and Capella or Collins would get switched on to Jimmy, and then so they'll run a dribble like switch with Duncan, and they were trying to post up Jimmy, and I'm like, no, this is the moment where Bam, you on the opposite side of the court, bro. You need to crash and seal the fuck out of DeAndre Hunter because you're gonna be
Can't
available
guard
to catch the ball. He can't guard you. And I just think everybody, like Jimmy, Bam, and Spo, they need to like iron out when it's time for Bam to like to attack mismatches. They just don't do it well enough. Like Trae Young, he was getting at anybody with no pigmentation in their skin, with no melanin in their skin, bro. Kyle Guy, Strus, or Duncan, he was running the pick and roll, hunting it. It didn't matter which one it was. He ain't even one game on them. He was looking for them boys so he could do whatever he wanted to do. And that's something that I feel like that's the next elevation. Like Threat said, no number one level scorer. Like they'll never be 3 levels, but like a top tier like scorer. One thing I feel for Bam, he needs to understand like when those opportunities are available. And tonight they got to it, but they got to it too late. I feel like if they would have did what they did in the second half, in the second quarter, it would have been a much different game, and we might have actually won it.
Yeah, I think I'm 100% with you. Want to thank Leo the line for the $4.99. Don't know. He said less than 25% from 3 all his years. He says broken jumper to me. If he can't muscle his way into the paint or get to the line, he's not scoring. That's fine. I don't think Jimmy's game is dependent on scoring necessarily. I just think layup should be a bare minimum for max players in the NBA. Thank you, Jason Adeboale, for the $9.99. Don't know. He said we all getting upset when the media don't respect us. I wouldn't respect us too with our best player being this bad offensively. When was the last time a team won a championship without an elite scorer?
2004, maybe 2005.
2000, yeah, with the Pistons. That might be the last time that I can think of. If you guys got any answers, put them in the comments. Go to the next one for me, Ramadan. Thank you, Alex Smith, for the $9.99. Don't know. He said Jimmy is my favorite player, but he be tripping way too much. Go be a killer like you were in Chicago when you had a respectable jump shot. He sickens me way too much. He's old. Find Jimmy buckets. Look, bro, that's a lot to say. Jason Adebawale, thank you again for the $1.99. Don't know. He said, bring back Jimmy buckets. Those are loaded comments when you're talking about Jimmy.
They worse than us.
Yeah, bro. Like
they worse than us tonight.
Y'all take off on them boys. You know what I mean? Hey, y'all sound like Threat is y'all leader tonight. Thank you, Jay Friday, for the $5. Don't know. He said Jimmy played soft all game, tried to be the hero at the end and failed. Has to be locked in all game. Sure, I agree. Threat, I wanted to ask you the same question that I was asking everybody else. Is this more about the players that we had on the floor not performing, or is it more about the players that we were missing that we weren't able to kind of like get this game after we made the run?
For me, it's definitely the players that were on the floor tonight. And I see a lot of people in the comments saying, relax, it's one game, it's one game. Guys, stop with that bullshit. I understand that it's one game, but the problems are still the problems that we had from seasons ago. Like the same problems, Bam's passiveness in games and Jimmy's inability to hit the late clutch shots. You know what I'm saying? It's the same problems over and over again. And I understand it's one game, but I'm not drawing this conclusion just off one game. It's the same things that's happening over and over again. And y'all just don't want to hear it unless it's good hyping your team stuff. Y'all don't want to hear the truth, bro. This is just the truth. This is my only issue with the team. I love the makeup of this team. Don't get me wrong. I love this team. I love what I'm seeing from the rest of the guys, especially from the guys who like Caleb Martin, Gabe Vincent. I'm loving the development of all these guys. My issue is the top heavy part of this team, and that's my only issue. And I'm going to continue to harp on that until playoff time comes. We look good right now, but I just got to see it in the playoffs, and that's my only issue with the team. And y'all don't want to hear it, but I don't care.
Thank you. I like, listen, bro, they understand by now. They've been dealing with me for a little over a year. Bro, y'all can say whatever the fuck y'all want in these comments. Thank you, SRT Dre, for the $1.99. Don't know. He said, we cook Duncan. Nobody immune to the smoke. And that's 100% right. You see, nobody on this show is on Duncan's ass tonight because Duncan started off like shit. But in that fourth quarter, when this team was down, Duncan is the one who got us back into the goddamn game. You know what I mean?
He started off really well. Then he played like shit. And then he played well again.
And I feel like he played like shit more on defense.
Yeah. He was getting torched on defense. Mm-hmm. But since we always shit on Duncan Robinson and Threat, we're going to start with you this time. Let's give Duncan a little love. Duncan played well tonight.
Man, I slander Duncan every damn day almost on this damn show. Duncan is not getting no slander from me today. He came and he hooped, man, especially when we needed it late. He shouldn't have to be the guy that we go into late in the games to hit those threes like that, man. But Duncan Duncan's shot was hot, man, and he's giving Strus a run for his money right now. Yeah, Strus is playing kind of hot right now, but he shot terribly today, 3 for 10. And Duncan is right on his ass. And a lot of people are making a valid case on why we can't, bench Duncan. And they're making a valid point because he's shooting like 40% for the month. And he's kind of figuring his way out. He's figuring things out. Yeah, we have the defensive lapses here and there, but we knew what it was when we signed up. You know what I'm saying? So, but Duncan tonight was great, man. It's not too much slander for me at all, man. Plus 11 on the court today. A couple of assists too. So Duncan was cool tonight, man. No beef with me tonight.
I think that's the value in having them both is that, when one of them starts to teeter off a little bit like Strus did, Strus started off harder than Duncan, I guess, and then he started to teeter off. Duncan started to pick it up a little bit. And I think that's the value in having them both. I don't really want to spend too much time on Duncan because we lost this game, but I want to talk about something that was interesting to me that we haven't seen in a while. And Kim, I'm throwing it to you first. We got Yurt and Bam minutes tonight, primarily because of PJ, who we're going to get into a little bit after this. But I saw some shit I liked. I ain't gonna lie. I saw some shit I liked. Saw a lot of shit I didn't like with them two playing on the court. Which did you see more of? Did you see more of what you liked or what you didn't like from watching Bam and Yurt play together?
It's tough because didn't like on offense, obviously. Like, that's where it got clunky. But the fact that they had Okongwu or whoever, I think that's his name. Yeah, and Collins on the Hawks, it allowed the it allowed us to actually like run that matchup and like not get like torched by it because they didn't have like a stretch four per se or a quick guy at the four. I was fine with it on defense, but offensively that shit was clunky. Like, and then when you got Jimmy like not being able to get to his spots, I mean, it just became worse. I'm not a fan of it. What I saw tonight, I'm not a fan of it. I can just say that much.
Oh, some of these comments are getting on my fucking nerves. I'm like, they starting to rub me the wrong way a little bit. I'm not going to talk about them though. But Ramakan, Yurt and Detman, did you see anything that you liked, or did you like more, or did you like less of what you saw from them?
I kind of liked what I saw, right? I'm not used to seeing this team be big, right? You're used to just playing up to them. We're always, the shorter team. We're always, the short, you got PJ Tucker guarding centers, right? When, all credit to PJ Tucker for having the ability to do that. But you have a dude that's 7 foot tall, it makes it just a little bit easier. So I like what you guys said. I loved what I saw on defense. There was a couple things on offense that I liked too, right? There was a couple times that Duncan came off of like a double screen where Yurt and Bam was both screening for him, and he was able to get pretty open as well. And then it would be like Bam would post up kind of in the corner. They would get the ball to Yurt. Yurt would pass the ball to Bam, and then they would work the action off of there. And then Yurt would kind of be doing a little bit of what PJ does, is kind of set those screens, try to open everything else up as Bam operates out of that mid-post area. So I kind of liked what I saw. I feel like, sure, it's going to look clunky. It's the first time we've seen it. I mean, have you ever seen it in the regular season this year?
No.
Right. So first time we've ever seen it in the regular season, first time maybe ever. I don't remember seeing it before. And so, of course, it's going to be a little clunky. Of course, it's going to have a little bit of figuring out to do. But we know that from from the summer league, Yurt does have a jumper that he can eventually start to get to. So, although it may be clunky right now, this could be the start of something that could be, viable moving forward.
Yeah, the one thing I will say is that it looked like Bam was the one that was playing further away from the rim. So if they're going to look for either one of them to shoot, I think it's going to be Bam, the one that they're going to look to shoot more. Threat, did you like what you saw from Bam and Yurt tonight?
I mean, it was cool. I do feel like we do need to experiment and figure some things out, because I laughed at it. What people said, they said that I laughed at what people said about the offense looking a little shaky with Bam and Jimmy back in the lineup. And a lot of people were fearing that. And, I kind of laughed it off, but I'm kind of starting to see people's worries. We're not the run and gun team. We're a bit bully ball. So I don't have a problem with us trying to find our identity, man. Whatever lineup changes that we need to do. I mean, look, we're in January. I mean, figure it out now. We have so much time to figure it out. Experiment with these lines. Spo's a mad scientist. He's a genius. I believe in Spo and whatever he tries to do and whatever he tries to cook up. So I'm not mad at it at all. I saw things that I liked. I saw things that I didn't like. I think we'll continue to evolve offensively with the lineup changes. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think Yurt was only pressed in the service because of what was going on with PJ, which kind of worries me. Like maybe it's his time to get his rest, kind of like Cal's doing now. But I did not. I mean, we hope that PJ is fine. But like I don't know. Like with the Bam and Yurt thing, like I said, I did like some things. I like having Bam being able to switch out onto the perimeter without the fear of us being too small on the inside to grab boards. Because Yurt did a pretty solid job down there. But on offense, yeah, it was clunky as shit. Actually, the fact that Threat isn't slandering Duncan kind of got me thinking crazy too. Is it just me? And it got me thinking about that last shot. Is it just me, or did anybody else here would have preferred that Duncan take that shot? Because I was at the point where I agreed with the decision to go for the three, go for the win, get up out of there. But if we go to somebody to shoot with the way that he was shooting in that fourth quarter, I would have went to Duncan instead of Jimmy. And I'll start with you, Threat, since you're the one who made the thought come in my head. Duncan or Jimmy in that last second situation, what were you thinking?
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I wouldn't have been mad if Duncan Robinson took that last shot, especially the way he was dealing tonight. And I'm gonna be real with you. I'm just not, when the ball is in Jimmy's hands late in games. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% confident at all that shot is gonna fall. To be honest with you, I have confidence with him driving late into the game and drawing a foul and him knocking down 2 free throws. But if it's a jump shot situation where the Crotty, then I don't have much confidence in it at all. But to be fair, out of anybody in the game, I tweeted it. Like I said, I wanted the ball in Bam's hand. And I was okay with going into OT with Bam taking that last shot too. So if anything, I wanted the ball in Bam's hands. I know Jimmy wasn't dealing tonight. I just preferred Bam having a shot as opposed to anybody. But I wouldn't have mind seeing Duncan Robinson take that shot if we're going for the win.
Yeah, let's before we get to that donut, I want to get everybody's opinion on this topic real quick. So Kendall, we're gonna go to you. Would you have preferred Duncan shoot that shot over Bam, or would you cool with Jim going down with Jimmy and do it?
Nah, I tweeted as soon as the timeout was called. I was like, Duncan for game, because boy been ass. 1 star, 2 stars on the long shot reviews. But if any night it was like his night tonight, 4 threes in the fourth quarter, like I'm not even thinking about it. Like I ain't care if we were like down 1, still run it to Duncan. Like just because his shot was falling, it was either Duncan or Bam for me. Like if we was down 1, I understand for Bam. But Duncan definitely should have got that shot. I mean, if you're trying to get up out of there with a 3, like give it to the best 3-point shooter of the night. Like I don't think that's like chess. Like that should have just been a checkers type move. Like let's not overthink this. Let's just keep it simple. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like give it a Duncan. Whatever would have happened, it should have happened. But I don't know.
I see some
ran to that corner, man.
Yeah, I think you talk about this comment here.
No, I wasn't talking that for that one.
Oh, which one are you talking about?
Oh no, I seen someone in the comments that said, if the game goes to OT, then we don't win that game. How can you say that when we come back from 14 points? Like I don't understand that logic at all.
Yeah,
they're all momentum.
They're reeling at that point. Ramakan, I wanted to get to your point so we can get to this dono. But yeah, Duncan for the game ?
Yeah, I mean, Duncan for the game for sure. Like Kendall said, you don't overthink something like this. When you have a Steph Curry, you let Steph Curry shoot the 3. That's just what you do. And, same thing with Duncan. Like, for sure, all season he's been ass, right? He's been garbage. He's been inconsistent. But when he's captured that little lightning in a bottle for a couple times this season and he gets really hot, this is the Duncan Robinson of the last 2 years, who is one of the best shooters. Like, let's not forget who this man was really before he signed the deal. This man was really a legitimate shooter who was shooting the lights out on Steph Curry levels. So when he gets hot and you have the opportunity to let him shoot the ball and have him win the game for you, I think you have to let him do it. Like you said, Jimmy wasn't feeling it. He missed the layup. Use Jimmy as a decoy. Use Bam as a decoy. You have 2 decoys right there for you. and then you can have you can open up something for Duncan. I felt like that's what they should have done.
Yeah, I think with Duncan Robinson, bro, it's not who he's been the last 2 years. It's who he can be on any given night.
Right.
Like on any given night, you get these games with Duncan Robinson is shooting like this. Tonight was one of those nights. You got enough confidence in him to close the game with him. Give him the goddamn ball and let him shoot it. Don't make him be no decoy out there for a Jimmy Butler fadeaway in the corner with bad spacing with Caleb Martin. Like that shit's not. What's happening? I don't see it. Oh, the fuck was that last time? Yeah, that shit was garbage. So while we got a couple people in here, we want to thank the primary sponsor of the 5 Reasons Sports post-game show, and that is Aggressive Insurance. Please visit www.insurancebylynette.com or give her a phone call at 954-581-8800. She just texted me and Ethan today and tell her that she got another sign up for 5 Reasons Sports. So when you give her a call, make sure you mention 5 Reasons Sports, and she is doing free vacation vouchers. So please give her a call. Any kind of insurance needs, any insurance questions, hit Miss Lynette up. She is super dope. Y'all make sure y'all check her out. Also want to thank CPT-Florida. If you have a small business, have any IT needs, phone services, communication services, camera services, all that kind of stuff, please visit cpt-florida.com or give them a call at 954-963-2775. Same deal. Mention 5 Reasons, and they will hook you the F word up. Appreciate them. Last one, we got City Cigar Lounge. City Cigar Lounge is one of the newer sponsors of the 5 Reasons Sports Network. They have 350 different types of scotches, bourbons, whiskeys, and tequilas, 50-plus brands of premium cigars. They got large, comfortable leather chairs in a classy environment. They got great food. Look at my boy Ramakan showing you the menu and shit. And then on top of that, we're going to be hosting some 5 Reasons Sports watch parties down there. Hopefully, Ethan don't do nothing in any important game. But, yeah, beautiful website, beautiful establishment. Make sure you check them out. Appreciate them for sponsoring the 5 Reasons Sports post-game show. All right. Let's get to some other shit. Let's get to some I guess, relatively positive shit from tonight. I like what I saw from the combination of Gabe, Caleb, Strus, Yurt, all the scrubs, as I like to call them. Like the scrubs, they have been consistently playing well, but I think we also saw, you know what I mean, some of the pitfalls, like when the offense was stalling. Oh, I forgot this comment. He said it was he's old, not he's old. Oh, LOL. Love 5 Reasons. I coach college basketball, and I'm a diehard Heat fan. I'm trying to get on the show sometime soon. $4.99 ain't enough for you to do it, Alex Lewis. Put some of that college coach paycheck in here, and I got you, my boy. Jordan L, thank you for the $1.99. Don't know. He said, why does Spo not allow Yurt to shoot threes? Because he's Yurt. He shot one. That's good enough. But no, I want you guys to pick one of the scrubs. Nobody can pick the same scrub. Pick one of the scrubs. Who was the most impressive one to you tonight? Jonathan, you going last because we got more black people on here tonight. I'm starting with Kendall because I haven't started with him at all. Kendall, you get to pick your scrub first, bro.
The scrub that I'm gonna show love to is that boy Gabe Vincent. I know that boy Gad was in the arena in the press conference in the press section, hornier than a motherfucker, watching his boy get off. So since Gad was in the building and we doing this segment, I'm gonna show love to Gabe. I mean, that boy, he really carried us. He did half the carrying for our offense in that first half. I mean,
Shameless.
Close. He was doing miracles. It was a miracle that reverse lay went in. That's when I was like, oh shit, it might be one of them nights.
I'm telling you.
Because I was like, boy, who do you think you is, boy? Like
the Allen Iverson. That's who you
feel
think
me?
he is.
Where they do that at? Like, so yeah, Gabe. I mean, even on offense. I mean, I said it earlier that Trey was hunting anybody with no melanin in the skin because he didn't want Gabe Vincent on him. It was one. Oh, and he put like it was at one point after he hit the lay, he went down there and put Lou Williams in the torture chamber, boy. Like I was like, who is this man with this number 2? You know what I'm saying?
That's Namdi.
Gabe Irvin.
Namdi.
Yeah, that's Namdi. That's Namdi. He needed to just go ahead and put it on it. So shout out to Gabe. He did his thing. He had a good game tonight, and that's the scrub for tonight.
Thank you, SRT Dre, for the $1.99. Don't know. He said Bulls down 6 with 2:30 left.
Who cares?
Yeah, bro. Like I don't. To be honest with you, I think the Heat.
That 1 seed thing is a little. I'm tired of hearing about the 1 seed, man.
I don't know if I can ever get tired of hearing about being the best team in the Eastern Conference, but I think I think it is. I think a lot of people are using it as kind of like this invincible shield against all arguments against criticizing this team. And that's not necessarily like a good thing for them to have, because if you notice, like it ain't but 2.5 games separating, these top 6 teams in this league. So
close. It's real tight.
Yeah, we could be from 1 and we could be fucking 6 tomorrow. So let's not
That's
do that.
a bar.
Yeah,
My god.
The boy spits hot fire because hot fire is what I spit. So Threat, I want you to go ahead and pick your scrub, bro.
Man, it's crazy because I was actually gonna show love to Gabe Vincent for the first time ever on this show. But you know what I'm saying?
That's why.
So the boy had Duncan tasting wood tonight, boy. Paul. He dropped Duncan there. My bad, bro. Go ahead.
God. So I guess I'm gonna show love to Strus, man. He kind of kept us afloat early. The shot was falling early. He gave us 15. Not his best shooting performance tonight, but you know what I'm saying? He did what he had to do, especially with the guys not dealing. Like Kendall stated earlier at one point in the game, Bam and Jimmy only had like 2 shots or whatever going. So, I mean, all the scrubs together morphed into one and gave us a decent enough performance to win the game at the end of the day. Def showed their ass.
I was about to say, Gabe Vincent, that boy, 14-9 is a pretty good Kyle Lowry impression.
Yeah, you're right.
If you press into the starting role. So it's like, yeah, I know we seriously lacked playmaking, like in the way that Kyle Lowry does it, but we got that from Gabe, and even Jimmy, like he had 8 assists. You know what I mean? So the ball was kind of finding people. I don't know, bro. It was just a lot. Like, but yeah, pick your scrub, Ramakan, because I want to talk about one more thing.
Hey, I got Caleb Martin. I'm happy. Caleb Martin.
Martin.
Happy. Hey, man, Caleb is a blessing for this team, right? Because when you need a guy that's a little bit smaller and you don't want Jimmy to expend all that energy chasing him around, you throw Caleb Martin on him, and he can stick on almost anybody. And you saw, like you said, Trae Young was hunting his matchups, and he could not hunt his matchups when Caleb Martin was on him. He's a phenomenal player, man. Like, we cannot continue to express how lucky we are to find this guy. Not lucky. I mean, this talent, the scouting department's fire. But he played great tonight. Obviously the 3-point shooting wasn't as great, but he still had a pretty decent game. He had 4 steals. He was this close to getting that last steal when they threw that pass in the backcourt, man. If he just timed his jump a little bit better, I felt like he could have had it. But, man, it was a tough game overall, but I loved what I saw from him. I think he's going to continue to be an important part of this team. And the one question I have is, like, whenever we think one of these 3 guys is going to fall out of the rotation, they have a good game. And they make you question.
We don't give a fuck, Lewis. I'm sorry.
And they make you question, like, how can you leave them out of the lineup, right? Like, Strus will take off, and then he'll have, like, 3 or 4 games whilst Duncan's not playing well. And you're like, all right, how can we leave Strus out the lineup? And then Gabe Vincent will have a defensive masterclass, and he had 9, or I think he had 3 3-pointers in the first quarter as well, right? So all these guys do things in different parts. So it's so tough to see which one of them will stay in. But yeah, I think Caleb Martin just did his thing tonight, man.
Yeah, I'll pick another one. That boy Kyle Guy, he makes me appreciate Caleb Martin so much more, because that boy is shit on defense. You hear me? That boy sorry fuck. Okay, like he hit a 3. You know what I mean? Like
you were like, thank you, bro.
Thank you, bro. Sit down, bro. Like, bro, like, yeah, when he hit that bit, like, it was like, okay, we were bleeding a little bit. But, bro, like, to have Caleb Martin be able to come in there and guard Trae Young because we're missing Kyle Lowry and we can't play Gabe the whole game, like, it was just a luxury to have him come in there, because Kyle Guy was another part of that group of Caucasian people. Somebody said, do the Macarena. You ain't paying me no money, Lewis. You ain't gave me now coin this show to do no Macarena. Thank you, Alex Lewis, for the that's crazy. That Luis and now Lewis. For the $4.99, he said LMBO said, if I got paid like that I definitely would be. I'm getting chump change right now. That was a good one though. LOL. Lakers on Sunday. The boy feeling good. Bro, listen, the Lakers one of the sorriest teams I ever watched in my goddamn life. Like, if we ain't feeling good about that, like, look, for all the shit that we talked about this game here, bro, like, they made it a game in that fourth quarter. And that's something that you got to appreciate. That's when all that culture and guts and shit, like, you can talk to me about culture and guts tonight, bro. Like, because it showed up in the fourth quarter.
And you heard how loud the Heat fans were in that crowd, man. Like every time,
It was
like,
quiet all night. It was quiet, but once that fourth came, they
exploded, man. You heard like the visible when Jimmy missed that layup, which was crazy. Like you don't expect to hear like a groan after a road player misses a game-winning shot, but we saw it happen. I was like,
yeah, bro. Like, and I mean, I'm fucking with it though. We got 39 minutes. I mean, I don't know what else to talk about in this game. So, Threat, you can tell us what we finna talk about next.
Man, that boy about to pack somebody up. He about to pack Justin up.
I mean, I don't really know, to be honest with you. I would pack more Jimmy up, but I already know people are gonna get their panties in the twist in here. But I love that comment earlier, though. Honestly, what you stated about how people are using that 1 seed kind of as an invincibility shield, man. That was right on the money. Chef's kiss on that statement right there. That seeding, I do like to hear it. I'm not gonna lie, but there's some fans out here who are delusional, and it's like whenever you're on Twitter and you see people arguing with teams, and the guy makes a ridiculous statement about his team. That's kind of how other people view Heat fans, because some of the stuff that people say are out of control. And I'm glad I'm here to bring y'all back down to earth when I say a lot of y'all favorites is not that good. A lot of y'all favorites is trash.
Actually, one thing you said, Threat, earlier in the show that I think was like super, like it just kind of slid under. It's like Bam, if Bam took the last shot, that could have been like something that changes the trajectory of like what he is moving forward, right? Because we barely ever see Bam take the last shot unless Jimmy's not here, unless Hero's not here, right? It's always going to Jimmy first or Hero. Those are usually the first two options, and then Bam is like the third guy. So he's not even the alpha or the beta. Like he's like Charlie. So like, I think if they gave him the opportunity tonight and he made that jump shot a couple times already, he was feeling himself, right? If he did hit that little jab step jump shot on Capella or even took him to the rim, I think he would have had a good chance of not scoring, at least getting to the free throw line. So I thought that was a really good point by you, because I think Bam needs to kind of they need to force Bam to grow up, and this could have been the moment where they do it, because they could have let him take the last shot with Jimmy there, showing him, hey, we're handing you the keys to the franchise. You're the one that's next.
Yeah, I don't know. That's like, maybe he has too much respect for Jimmy Butler. Because when Jimmy's not on the floor in these moments, like we saw last night, like he absolutely can.
He's dog toilet.
Bro, he got to a point where he was like, there's not a bitch on this court who could guard me. And so that Adamon, bro, you should have been in the spaces this morning, bro. I'm not gonna tell you what he said, bro. You should have just been there. Like, if you want to go, make sure you inbox Adam Barai.
Find out. Wait till you guys find out.
Yeah,
they should have been there. They would have found out last night. But it
was only at 4 a.m. It wasn't like the shit was like super early. Like y'all should have been there.
Yeah,
it wasn't at 4:30.
No.
Yeah, right. It was 15 minutes.
Yeah, we was done
out, reactions, and we was out of there.
Yeah, but yeah, let's get back to the night. You know what I mean? Actually, Adam arrived. Maybe he'll tell you. Maybe he won't. I think he'll put it out on the timeline one day. Yeah, I'm done. Oh, Devin played fine. I don't think that really matters right now. Let's talk about the next one.
It don't matter.
None of that shit don't matter. We got
Devin didn't even get an offensive foul tonight, so
he didn't get no moving screen, bro. That means he didn't play.
He ain't played.
So I mean, now that this game's over with, got it out the way, we get to go back home. We got our next 4 at home.
Wait, before we do that, I do want to give a shout out to Gad to covering his first game.
For sure.
I mean? Like that boy's out there. Like he traveled from Florida to Atlanta to go cover the game.
For
He
sure.
got to saw Gabe do a reverse layup. I'm sure that like Kendo said, that boy must have had a heart on. But hey, shout out to you, Gad, man. I hope you had a great night. I hope you enjoyed the experience, and much love over here from the post game show.
No, for
that boy wanted to go to Magic City. Don't let that Heat game fool you.
That's where he at right now. That's why
that's exactly where. Yep.
Boy said he might come on here from the arena. We ain't heard from him since. Oh, somebody said
is this lemon pepper?
Hey, somebody said Gad on one.
He's out there with Lou Williams right now.
We might, exactly. We might have to ban that boy. But yeah, if we need any type of game to rebound from a loss like this, God damn it, ladies and gentlemen, that next one is it. We got the Los Angeles Lakers at the crib, and they are just objectively a bad basketball team. LeBron James has to score 40 points in order for them to even be close. The rest of that team is just lemon pepper gas. That boy might got a new nickname. So we're finna go around the pedal right quick. Ramlakai, the boy feeling good.
The boy feeling good. Like you said, the Lakers are absolute dog shit. Like, we don't have to worry. Westbrook is going to probably come here, turn the ball over more than the whole Heat team by himself, go for like 1 for 70, and, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. I think when we play against a team that scores a lot of points, we have to worry a little bit more because we have to think about making that up. But with a team against the Lakers, they already struggle to score. They already struggle to shoot. We know Malik Monk might go off, but hey, if we can contain him, I think we'll be good.
Yeah. I think Zach asked a pretty good question. Kendall, the boy feeling good or are you feeling better with Kyle Lowry, or are you still feeling good if Kyle Lowry doesn't play?
Kendall look frozen.
That boy Kendall is frozen. That boy on his Brian shit right now. He in his Brian bag right now.
He look out of there.
Yeah, boy drunk. Threat, the boy feeling good?
The boy is feeling not so good, my boys.
Oh.
I'm gonna keep it a stack bundle with y'all. They got a guy over there by the name of LeBron James, who is the greatest basketball player of all time. A lot of Heat fans take him for granted. We witnessed the greatest basketball player of all time play for your franchise. Show some respect.
He's not the greatest basketball player of all time. He's not the greatest basketball player.
That's a complete lie. I mean, we've never seen anybody as dominant as my guy. I don't care what Jordan. I don't care what Jordan was doing against the Milkmans in the 80s, my boy.
The bus driver.
He was winning. Man. He was winning. That's what he
was balling against
winning. That's what the fuck Jordan was doing.
But they got Heat killer Malik Monk over there as well. You know what I'm saying? That's two deadly combinations. The best basketball player of all time and Heat killer Malik Monk. I don't like our chances at all. I think we stumble heading into the to the All-Star break, to be real with you.
First,
trying to get our footing.
Listen, bro, let me tell you something, bro. They have the equivalent of a basketball atom bomb over there in Russell Westbrook. That boy is a nuke to any team that he is on. That bitch is a cancer. With that being said, the Heat are about to blow that shit out. Yes, Malik Monk is going for 45. We know this. LeBron James is going to have a triple-double. But Taylor Horton-Tucker and Russell Westbrook, they are going to be our knights in shining armor, bitch. That's what. Listen, the Lakers can't beat us. They're not good enough. Their team is terrible. I don't care what LeBron James does. They have lost in spite of him. Like this season, bro. He has been phenomenal this year. I will give him that. Like, he has been phenomenal. And they can't play defense. Like, offense comes and goes. Like, it is what it is. I'm not afraid of them at all. Damn,
and they don't have AD, right?
I don't know. Like, I can't watch.
They have AD. I think he's still out.
Yeah, like whatever.
Yeah, I thought they said he might potentially play. I don't know. I might have seen something though.
Does it really matter?
I mean, it's a loss regardless.
Yeah, to them. I wish my boy Kendall was here. I was trying to stall so that he could get back, but it looked like his boy ain't coming back. So, thank you guys in the comments, as always, for joining the show, making it much more fun than it would have been without you. I feel like I cheated y'all 13 minutes tonight, but that's okay. I'll be back next game. Thank you to my man, Ramlakai. Thank you to Threat. Thank you to my boy, Kendall, the boy feeling good, Kendall?
The boy feeling good.
Yes,
man, the Lakers is ass. The Lakers is trash. And I know Bron, that boy GOAT, but that ain't enough for a well-oiled machine. We finna blow that shit out.
Yes, indeed. I like that. That made me puff up my chest. I mean, all three of y'all saying Bron the GOAT kind of got me feeling some type of way, but I mean, we'll discuss those things off camera because I think y'all tripping. I don't want to berate other kings on this network on live air. But yeah, thank y'all.
Skip Bayless?
Huh?
I said, damn, Skip Bayless.
You know, I don't rock when them saying sucker Skip me rocking it. Skip me in some dangerous territory. Skill. I got a Shannon Sharp meme that I've been waiting to unleash on some motherfuckers as soon as I find the right situation. I already told y'all bitches in the comments. Thank y'all. Thank y'all motherfuckers on the panel. Play the video, Ramlakai.
Jimmy Buckets, clutch time.
Tyler Hero, what a finisher he's becoming.
Lane, Oladipo. Oh, that's right. You better mean mug after you dunk on somebody that way.